how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Is that what that owl sounded like?
1, 2, 3.
I was going to do
the commercial.
Help is on the way, dear, from Mrs.
Oh,
Doubtfire.
yeah. Okay, that's better. That's better.
I think
accent.
No, you surprised me way more. All right, let's see how that sounded.
Okay. Hi, Charlotte.
What is up, Madeline?
I feel like you just did an intro to like a Disney Channel kids show or like a cool kid. Like, hey, what's up, middle schoolers?
Like a YouTube channel being like, hey, tweens.
Hey,
what have
tweens.
you been up to?
Do you like your Stanley Cups? Did your
They're like-
mom get you another pair of Sambas? Are they sick?
Have you? I can't think of
My
anything.
version of
I
that
don't
in
know
middle
what
school-
they
mine
like.
would've
I don't
been
know
like-
what the tweens like.
Mine would have been like, what's your flip phone number? Like, what's your flip phone case?
Oh, yeah. Mine would have been like, hey, kids, have you been playing Snake on your Nokia cell
they're-
phone?
Yeah. Do you have a candy bar phone? Did you get the LG chocolate for Christmas? Let's unbox it together.
I have a razor. Let's flip it open.
I have the Dolce & Gabbana razor.
What?
Don't you remember
was
that
a
one?
thing?
Wait, don't you remember?
Lindsay Lohan
Dolce
have
&
that?
Gabbana had a gold razor. They released it. It was like an expensive flip phone.
Well, welcome to our sports podcast. I thought of that one as I went for a little walk before we recorded today.
What?
When I was like, and I'm going to say, what is up, Madeline? Or Madeline, what is up? I planned it.
You need to start, you know what you need to do is make a little, like a hat with a little piece of paper in it with little greetings, and you just pull a random one every
Yes.
morning and you prep it.
That's actually a great idea.
Not a bad idea.
And it can't be a bowl. It has to be a hat.
A hat. It has to be a baseball hat because this is a sports podcast.
This is sports. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Was in Maine over the weekend.
Oh, lovely.
Came back. Happy to be back in New York.
Great.
Feeling hashtag blessed. And Maine is going to factor into this show.
Yeah.
A little bit later, we're going to do a little tease here and say we have some Jordon Hudson news.
We do.
As in Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with our deep dive episode on the two of them, you can go check that out.
Yeah. And while you're at it, go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
What a great idea.
Or maybe give us a rating on Apple or Spotify.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Subscribe there too.
Yeah.
Any of it.
Any of it. All of it. All the things.
It all helps.
Wow. Well, should we get into it?
I think we should.
First things first, I can't even believe I'm bringing up this sport first because we haven't actually spent that much time talking about it.
I know.
But the Masters happened. Masters, biggest tournament in golf.
Yep.
Happened. And Irishman Rory McIlroy won the Masters.
He did. He won the Masters for the first time.
Yep.
He had been chasing it since 2011. I think he came very close in 2011. He is now only the sixth golfer to win all of the major tournaments. Wins the Masters, the PGA Championship, US Open, and the Open Championship. And it was a crazy finish.
Yeah.
Because it went to he was tied with this golfer, Justin Rose, leading into, at the end. And so they had a sudden death where you just play a hole of golf.
Yeah.
And it's like, who wins that hole, you win. And Rory made his putt and fell to his knees weeping.
And I'm sure you've seen the photo. He's like kind of crouched over the green, the putt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, well. Wow. You really don't know. Yeah.
I really don't. I will say that is a weak spot.
Golf?
Blind spot, weak spot.
Weak spot. Blind side. Sandra.
Yeah, the putt court, the green.
Yeah, well, right. Okay. Yeah. The green. It's the green.
He's crouched over, very excited that he won. I'm sure you saw this photo of him. Okay. Do you know who took this photo?
No.
Could you guess a retired baseball player?
Well, I would think.
I just said name one.
No. Name a guy.
Name a guy.
Randy Johnson does take. He was a pitcher who threw a baseball and hit a bird.
Yes.
And he now takes pictures of like U2 concerts
and the NFL games.
Right. And his logo is an upside down bird.
It's so funny you bring him up. Actually,
Why?
It wasn't him.
What?
But it was one of his former teammates.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Who took that?
Ken
picture?
Griffey Jr.
I'm sorry.
I look at the credit.
I'm sorry. What?
I look at the credit and it says Ken Griffey Jr. for Getty Images. Like that Ken Griffey Jr.
Are you kidding? Did you look it up?
Yeah, of course. It was really him.
Does he take pictures?
Yes.
Why? I mean, great. Why does anybody do
You know
anything?
what? Here's what I'll say. It's good for someone who's retired to have some hobbies.
Yes.
It's great. I mean, I feel like that's like a very high profile hobby.
I mean, that's a job. That's a career.
He's not taking school
Second
portraits.
career.
He's like, I'm going to the Masters and taking one of the most iconic shots of the entire tournament.
Of golf. Of golf.
Yeah, of golf.
Of golf ever. You know,
True.
I do love this too, because I really like when athletes retire and then find another, you know, you can do so much as an athlete because you have so much money. You can be involved in charity. You can partner with brands. You can do all of this stuff. But to have another career where you're still in the sports world, but not as a coach or a manager or something, like you are in it taking pictures.
Yeah.
You get to sort of decide how people see these athletes' moments
Right.
where you were one of those athletes. So you kind of understand it in a way that I think also helps with the craft, if you will.
I think that's true. I think you just summed up retirement career transition to becoming a professional sports photographer perfectly.
Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. Ken Griffey Jr. We love that.
Crazy. Wait, one last thing on it.
Yeah.
I feel like Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson need to reunite since they were teammates on the Seattle Mariners for 10 seasons, I believe.
Yeah.
At a sporting event and shoot the event together.
Oh my God. Or they could each take pictures of each other holding their camera. They should take each other's official photography portraits for their website.
Wait, I would love that.
That would be adorable.
That'd be very sweet.
That is so funny, though. I'm sorry, I can't get over this. To see Ken Griffey Jr.'s name as the photo credit.
Yeah, he's a credit.
Like in really small gray
you know,
font.
it's like
where it's
Joe
slash.
Smith for Getty Images. It's just Ken Griffey Jr. for Getty Images.
Awesome. I love that.
I know, it's great.
Well, okay, I'm glad we're talking about golf because, I mean, I think most people who aren't golf fans still are aware of the Masters or tune in.
Yeah.
The Masters itself is insane. The course, Augusta, you have to be a member. Nobody can get in. You can't bring your cell phone as a patron, they call them.
Right.
The sandwich prices, all the snack prices are the same as they were in the 50s. It's like $2 for a pimento sandwich.
Yeah.
People buy thousands of dollars worth of merch when you go because it's the only place you can get the merch. They pipe in bird sounds.
I didn't know that.
CBS pipes it. Those sounds that you hear, those birds,
where
it sounds all idyllic and lovely. CBS pipes in those bird sounds, and also they paint the greens. Sometimes if they're not green enough, it's like Alice in Wonderland where they're painting the red roses. The Masters is like, this is not. Nothing can be less than perfect. I believe they bring in the azaleas because it's not the season for them.
Oh my God.
I could be wrong on that one, but like you get it.
I get the vibe. I feel like the only sporting event that is somewhat similar in terms of its level of exclusivity is Wimbledon.
Yes.
Because Wimbledon also is virtually impossible to get tickets. You don't have to dress up, but I feel like most people dress up. It feels very proper. Like, I mean, you can take photos. I guess that's one thing that you can do at Wimbledon that you cannot do at the Masters.
No,
with
it's
your phone.
very much. It's like if if there were the most exclusive golf and tennis club, it would be Wimbledon smushed together with Augusta.
For sure. Soho House could never.
Never.
Could never. Could never. The level of exclusivity.
Zero Bond who?
Yeah. Cafe, what is it? Margot, that new one?
Yes.
Margot who?
Corner shop. It's corner store. That's just a restaurant. Never mind. No, but the thing about golf that's so insane, Madeline, is I covered a PGA championship when it was out on Long Island. First of all, great event to cover as a reporter because I walked I think I got 11 miles worth of steps in. It was a beautiful day. I got a little tan. I was just walking around. I mean, it's a lovely thing to do, but there's so many men there wearing golf spikes and golf outfits as though Phil Mickelson were just going to be like, hey, Jerry from accounting, can you just hit this one? I need you to sub in. Can you just hit? And they call the athletes, they call the golfers nicknames, like Justin Rose, who was in it till the end with Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
I heard on the broadcast some guy go, here we go, Rosie. And it's like they think they know them and they call them nicknames.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It's like a straight man who's a little insecure in his masculinity's Eras Tour.
Really? You know what it kind of reminds me of?
What?
Is Comic-Con. It's like they're all dressing up. The fans are cosplaying as professional golfers, and they're like, I got to dress up like my man, Rosie. It's Comic-Con. Yes. They might as well be in Game of Thrones costumes.
Comic-Con for guys who like to get up at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, drive an hour out of the city, and go play golf. It's
yes, 100%.
It's so good. It's so good. Speaking of guys,
Speaking of guys.
Real guy drama, actually,
yes.
at the Masters. Because I mean, not really, but like, so Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy were both in the lead going into Sunday. They play like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You make the cut or you don't. Whittles the field down. The two golfers who have the best scores heading into Sunday start last. So everybody else is finished by the time they're coming up. And Bryson was playing fine and then had a total come apart, just like complete meltdown. And Rory kept playing well. And afterwards, I've seen these clips going viral where Bryson DeChambeau was asked how Rory felt after he won. And he goes, no idea, didn't talk to me once all day. He wouldn't talk to me.
Oh.
And the Rory's sports psychologist said it had nothing to do with Bryson. That was just the game plan all week, and we wanted to get lost in it. It was like, don't think about whoever you're playing with.
Right.
But this is interesting because Rory is like the face of the PGA Tour. Bryson DeChambeau sort of took on this villain role in golf. He plays for Live Golf, which is funded completely or mostly by Saudi money. He had Donald Trump on his YouTube show to go golfing together. He's really sort of leaned into the anti-PGA Tour, like we do things the right way.
Right.
So it was like
it
real
was like
little...
the old school versus new school
Yes.
drama.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, here's what I'll say. Rory, yeah, you shouldn't talk. Why Bryson, just because you're not playing well, why are you kind of like throwing shade when... I'm sorry, maybe you didn't have as good of a sports psychologist on your team.
I think you're right. It seems like a real sort
Maybe you shouldn't have spoken either.
I wouldn't want to talk to the person I'm playing against.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's such an individual sport.
Yes.
And I'm sure, obviously most individual sport athletes always say like so much of it is mental, but I feel like for golf, it is like so much of it is mental.
As my father always says, golf is 90% mental and 10% mental. So there's a little dad golf tip.
Put it on a quote card.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's insane. When watching Rory, where he was up 4 at one point, which just means he has to completely mess up on one hole. Like everything you do could completely destroy your chances.
Yeah.
Like the pressure just built. You get to hole 17, you can still completely screw it all up.
Right. You can fall apart.
I would crumble.
Oh, no.
Under that kind of pressure.
No.
And people are watching you?
No. Yeah, around the world. And in front of you. And the fans are pretty close to you.
Yeah.
They're not like 300 feet away.
No.
They're pretty close.
They're like reaching
They're
out,
behind that
trying
little
to
like
touch you.
rope. Yeah.
It's like the royal. It's like Princess Diana with her fans.
Yes. Wait.
You know, and she's like, you know what I mean?
I like.
Did you watch The Crown?
Like,
I watched.
Yeah,
The Crown.
I could see the visual. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it
You
is.
know what I mean?
No, it is. Like the shot of Rory when he's crying while walking.
Yes,
that's Diana.
That's Diana.
And ironically, he is Irish.
Yeah, northern. So
correct.
British passport.
Correct. Wow. Rory McIlroy.
Anyway,
the Princess Diana
of golf.
That's a conclusion.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Rory McIlroy,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know like what's happened with his wife and his kind of dating
Vaguely,
history.
can you tell me about it?
Yes, I would love to. So he's married to a woman named Erica Stoll.
Okay.
They have been married since 2017 and have a 4-year-old daughter. Okay, like that's fine, whatever.
Isn't the daughter's name Poppy?
She is named Poppy.
One of my best friends has a daughter named Poppy. So shout out,
really sweet.
Shout out Poppy.
That's really sweet. Well,
great name.
Back in May of last year, Rory had filed for divorce the day after Mother's Day.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Seriously?
Stating, quote, the marriage was irretrievably broken.
Okay.
So doesn't sound great,
No,
right?
it sounds like it's no coming back from
No
that.
coming back from that. However, less than a month later, he made a full 180 and then said, just kidding, we're not getting a divorce. And he said, quote, there have been rumors about my personal life recently, which is unfortunate. Responding to each rumor is a fool's game. And they like canceled the divorce.
Huh.
Yeah. And he continued on saying,
Okay.
over the past couple of weeks, Erica and I have realized that our best future was as a family together. Thankfully, we have resolved our differences and look forward to a new beginning.
You know who would like to say something about this?
Who?
Is the word irretrievably. Being like, you were tossing me around real loose.
Real loose.
Because you clearly didn't mean that, Rory.
No, they were not broken. They mended that wound.
There were rumors of his having an affair.
Yeah,
and
there's
it
a lot
got,
of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And anyways, she was there, gave him a big embrace after he won. So I guess things are fine.
I mean, what if they almost got divorced because he couldn't win the Masters?
I mean,
what if she was like...
well, maybe it's like a Tom Brady situation when Tom Brady won Super Bowls, but when Giselle was like over it.
Yes.
Like you either like finish the job or like I can't keep sacrificing my life.
I'm not going to live in Boston.
Right.
Even though I'm pretty sure Rory, I'm
I don't
pretty
know
sure
where
they
he
live
lives.
in Miami.
Okay.
But, wow, that's just like so fascinating to me because wait, now I'm remembering something.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Okay. Yes. So he hired, when he made this announcement, the same attorney who represented Tiger Woods from his divorce from Elin Nordgren in 2010.
Famously.
And
Famous divorce.
And the same guy who represented Joe Jonas, the singer, in his split from actress Sophie Turner.
Do you think
And
Rory...
he's like the guy who tries to make men's wives look awful when he's representing them.
Right. Do you think Rory texted Tiger and was like, hey, who's that divorce attorney? He was like in his mind, he's like, who do I know that's been famously divorced?
In the golf world. He's like,
Tiger Woods.
Hey, Tiger, need a guy. Got anyone? And he's like, yeah.
Can you do your typing sound again? You know what? I think I said this on I feel like we had on a guest podcast or something a while ago. But the moment when Tiger Woods smashed when Elin smashed the golf clubs, I remember watching it thinking like the world was burning down. It felt so monumental.
I'm 100% with you.
Momentous?
No, like all of it.
Whatever.
Any big word.
Any Jordon Hudson coded word.
Truly, though, because he was the golden boy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, his supermodel wife is smashing his headlights, and then it all unravels.
Right.
I'm with you.
That was such an insane moment in sports, but also in sports gossip history.
That might have been like the first 21st century massive. Well, maybe not.
I would say maybe the only other one that is a comp, but not because of those reasons, but just more chatter was when David Beckham started dating Victoria Beckham.
Oh yeah, never mind.
In the late 90s.
You're right.
You're right. And like then going into the World Cup, there was all this drama. We could do a whole deep dive about that.
We should do a lore episode.
We should. Anyways, but the other thing I want to say about his dating history is that before he was married to Erica, he was with Caroline Wozniacki, the tennis player, she was incredible.
I forgot that.
Yes. So they were together in August 2011 is when they first got together. They were 22 and 21 at the time. Like they were very young. And he proposed 2 years later on New Year's Eve while they were celebrating New Year's Eve in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
So that's all fine and good. This connects back to the Masters. But do you remember how he ended their engagement?
No.
He ended their engagement. So she caddied for him at the 2014 Masters. Obviously, he didn't win.
Wait, that's crazy. So hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just
burying facts
she
here.
caddied for him at the Masters?
She caddied for him in 2014 at the Masters. And just a month later, he called her to break up with her.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine? Like, they weren't just boyfriend. Like, they were engaged.
Wait, can I see that article?
Yes. And at the time, he said in a statement, I wish Caroline all the happiness she deserves and thank her for the great times we had. I will not be saying anything more about our relationship in any setting.
Holy cannoli. I feel like I'm remembering something. Did he do this the weekend they sent out their wedding invitations?
I think so, yes. I think that's correct.
And he said something like
it
sending out the
felt
wedding invitations is what made me realize I didn't want to get married.
Yes, it was like too permanent. Yes, I did see that. Could you imagine?
This man.
And then, of course, obviously, Caroline afterwards, she was interviewed about it. She was like, I was shocked. I thought at least I would get a face-to-face or something, but there was nothing. It was a phone call, and I did not hear from him again.
I mean, on the one hand, awful. On the other hand, what else are you going to say?
I guess true.
Like sometimes
I know on the phone.
And you were married. You were almost going to get married. You've got shit all over you.
Exactly. I'm sure they had stuff each other's.
That's what I mean.
Logistically. Really?
I guess he was rich enough that he was like, just keep it.
Right. Well, anyways, flash forward. Maybe they spoke again because she attended the Masters this year.
No way.
Yes.
She was there?
She was there. I mean, there are no
in the
photos.
stands?
I don't think they...
Is she dating anyone now?
She's married. She's married.
Oh, she is?
Yes. She got married in 2019 and has a daughter.
Everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy.
Sort
I'm
of.
like, did they talk at the Masters? I don't know. Who's to say?
Can you believe you go to the Masters where you caddied and he wins? Like, she had to watch Rory win the Masters.
Yeah, she did. Like 10 years.
And she made a choice to
11
go
years later.
to the Masters.
Yeah. And probably didn't think he was going to win this year.
Wow. That is good,
Anyways,
juicy stuff.
Golf tea. Tea time.
Oh, that's what this segment's called.
Tea time.
Tea time. We will keep following the golf world. I'm really glad that this was the thing that got us into it, because there's just so much good
I know
stuff.
we've gotten a lot of messages about golf, so if there's more golf drama you want us to talk about, feel free to send it to us.
Send us a little message.
Yeah, send us a little DM.
All right. Well, going from Sunday to Monday, the WNBA Draft happened yesterday, as of this recording, on Tuesday. Paige Bueckers, UConn star, women's basketball phenom, went number 1 overall to the Dallas Wings. Some of the players on the Wings tweeted very cute things, like Arike Gumbawale, who is, I've interviewed her before. Not to brag. She was lovely. Yeah. And she tweeted how excited she was. Dejanay Carrington and Nalissa Smith, who are now both on the Wings as of this season, they tweeted nice things. And Paige, in her interview with Holly Rowe, the amazing ESPN reporter, she was saying how grateful she was, blah, blah, blah. And then the last thing she said was a team should draft Caitlin Chen and Aubrey Griffin, who are her teammates at UConn, who were not expected to be drafted.
Right.
And the last 2 picks of the WNBA draft were Caitlin Chen and Aubrey Griffin. And it's the kind of thing that Caitlin Chen went to the Valkyries, Golden State Valkyries, first season that they'll exist as a team. Aubrey went to the Lynx. Mm-hmm. And they still have to make the team. They have to get through training camp. Yeah. It's not guaranteed. But Paige just seems like the loveliest person.
I know.
Doesn't she?
Does. No, she does.
She's always just trying to put the attention on other people. And she knows the amount of attention she gets, so she uses it to spotlight other people. And teams probably listen to her. They were like the 30th pick, 29th pick. Like, these aren't guaranteed to pan out anyway, so we might as well do what Paige said.
Yeah, do what Paige says. Put her in. Well, they will put her in, coach. Yeah. But maybe they put her in the front office also.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I could see it in 20 years.
I could see it. I see the vision. Well, and congrats to her and everyone else who was drafted. Incredible. Also, did you see Paige? So on the red carpet, she wore this like incredible brown suit, and then she changed. She had an outfit change.
Crazy.
Both outfits were great, but I was like, wait, I love an outfit change.
No,
very chic.
It was Coach, bedazzled Coach suit.
Oh, thank you. It was Coach.
It?
Yes, because Coach just signed like multi-year deal with the WNBA.
And they also drafted Haley Van Lith, who out of TCU, who was taken 11th, who's going to play the Chicago Sky, to be reunited with Angel Reese, who she played with, and they were both at LSU. The amount of overlap here, because get this, so Haley Van Lith, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before we started recording. Holly Rowe, ESPN, who interviews them, as Haley's gotten drafted, and she's had this whole big journey in college. She transferred twice. It was hard. Her draft stock rose this year because she decided to stay in school. And we'd seen Jalen Suggs, the NBA player for the Orlando Magic, courtside at one of her games.
Right.
But we'd also seen Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels at one of Juju Watkins' USC games before she got hurt, and they aren't necessarily dating. So we were like, well, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Holly Rowe, she's interviewing Haley. She's like, and your boyfriend Jalen Suggs is here. Yeah. Was that did Holly Rowe hard launch them?
I think she definitely hard launched him. I feel like Haley did not know she was going to say that.
It
didn't feel like it was PR pre-approved.
No. Neither of them, neither Haley nor Jalen are on each other's Instagram.
Right. But he was there. I mean, maybe that was like the hard launch, and then Holly was like, I don't care. I'm going to say. I mean, I respect Holly for saying it. Yeah.
Same. I love it.
It was great.
Also, Jalen Suggs and Paige Bueckers grew up playing basketball together.
They did?
Yes. And Aubrey Griffin, who I just mentioned, one of Paige's teammates, is the daughter of Adrian Griffin, who was the head coach of the Bucks.
Oh my God.
Whom they fired last year in the middle of the season because he had like lost the trust of the locker room.
Whoa.
Isn't that?
Whoa.
The athlete world is so small, and the basketball world is so small.
It's so small. It's like, it's not even like a Nepo baby. It's like,
no.
There needs to be a new word for just like interwoven dynamics within the NBA and the WNBA.
Yes.
The connections.
Also the NFL, because Sonia Citron, who was taken 3rd overall, who is dating Maris Liafu, who's a linebacker for the Cowboys. Holly also had an amazing line when she said, she's interviewing Sonia, and said, your boyfriend Maris is here. For the record, you got drafted higher than he did in the NFL, so shout out to the girls.
I loved that.
It's incredible.
I love that. And then they just like pan to him in the crowd and he's just applauding like, yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, correct.
We love
correct.
a supportive boyfriend.
Correct. Appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
He had the appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
I also saw, I don't know if you saw this, but Russell Westbrook was there. He designed an outfit for one of the draftees.
Georgia Amore.
Yes.
Who's Australian.
Yes.
What'd
And
you
she's
think?
like 5'6".
She's tiny.
I saw, and I was like, wait, is the camera
someone make a
angle?
mistake?
I was like, what's going on here?
She's
so small.
She's such a crazy good.
Yeah.
To be drafted into the W, that height, you have to be so good.
Respect.
What did you think of it? It was this like blazer, sort of floral blazer with a skirt, and it said her name on the back, and she wore loafers with socks.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was
liked
kind
it.
of into it.
I was into it. I'm like, is Russell Westbrook gonna design his own outfit for the Met Gala?
Well,
Maybe that was like his kind of testing the waters.
that is.
I'm assuming he's going.
His outfit to the draft was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a denim chore coat and like loose pants.
Yeah.
And a blue beanie and a shirt. He
always looks.
He
good.
always looks. Really
He always
good.
looks good.
Yeah. Also, AZ Fudd, who sat at the table with Paige Bueckers.
Yes.
And she looked amazing. And they embraced, and I'm very excited to keep following the
Me too.
adventures of Paige and AZ. If you haven't gone and checked out what the two, I guess, former teammates, because
Yeah.
Paige isn't there anymore.
No.
They made all these great NIL deals together, and that was it. I cried through the whole thing.
I loved it.
I cried
loved
through
it.
Also, here's a
What?
crazy one. So, Cheyenne Sellers out of Maryland got drafted 17th to the Valkyries, and in the same week, she got engaged and drafted to the WNBA. She proposed to her fiance Faith Macionis, who also played at Maryland. I believe is a little older. They posted an Instagram. I want to show you this because I
see.
think the flowers were some of the better ones we've seen.
Okay, they're
Look
not
at
as
that.
compressed. If you are a longtime listener, you'll know we have a thing about how all athlete weddings use the same floral aesthetic, and they're all very compressed flowers. And these don't look that compressed; they look a little bit more organic.
It is a heart-shaped arch, but
That is an arch.
I will forgive them that because the flowers on it, and look, they're just so happy. It's so cute.
Aw, congrats to them.
And guess who Cheyenne's dad is?
Who? Some other nepo baby NBA?
Brad
something?
Sellers, who played with Michael Jordan and is now the mayor of his hometown.
Stop.
Warrensville Heights, Ohio.
The Michael Jordan to mayor pipeline is not what I would have expected from this man, but you know what?
Pretty good.
He's following his dreams. Maybe in his like kind of retirement, a la Ken Griffey Jr. He's like, I just want to be a mayor.
Truly.
He's like, I don't need to take images. Take images.
Take images.
I'm really all over the place today.
You're doing amazing.
Take photos for Getty Images. I just want to approve a budget for a new coffee shop.
Yes,
that goes into town.
exactly.
And like a Chipotle with a apartment complex above it.
And guac is not extra.
Not extra. Not in this town.
But the WNBA draft, first of all, just like the sweetest stories and people who've lost family members. I'm just crying through the whole
Yeah.
thing. Any draft, I really just get very emotional. But it also did just cement my take, which is that when my husband and I have children, he's very athletic. I'm fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We're both kind of tall. They could be tall. Our children have no chance to be a professional athlete now because all of the athletes entering the pro leagues are just the children of former D1 or professional athletes who had children together and are breeding super athletes.
Superhumans. Yeah, that's true.
They're just like, these people are genetically superior to
Yeah.
anything I could ever hope. You know,
Hey, there's hope. You never know. You never know.
yeah, maybe something neat, like we'll get them into fencing.
Or they'll be like at a D3 school, you know.
The way you said that. As I'm wearing my husband's rugby
Very chic.
Oxford shirt from
Can't believe I didn't
college.
wear mine today. We're not matching.
I know.
It's
Next
fine.
time.
It's
It's
fine.
I love your sweater.
Thank you. It's from Peru.
It's so cool.
Shout out.
It's very soft.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Okay, so that's
that's
WNBA draft.
more basketball news.
Yeah.
I saw you put in here there were some updates after the drama heard around the world. The Denver Nuggets fired both their GM and head coach at the same time, despite the head coach helping them win their only championship.
Yes, and despite there being only 3 games left in the regular
Correct.
season.
Felt like a strange choice. Anyways, there seemed to be some updates on how the head coach took the news.
Yeah. So there are a few things here. One, at the time, the Nuggets were in 4th, and we were saying how it's very silly. Well, first, I mean, we talked a lot about this last week. Employees are your employer is not your friend.
Not your friend.
They're going to get rid of you at any moment, even if you're the star employee. The NBA seedings are now set. We are officially in the postseason. The play-in tournament starts tonight, where teams who are on the cusp of being in the playoffs have a chance to play a game or 2 games to get in. But it's very interesting because according to Brian Windhorst of ESPN, Malone was, quote, not calm after being fired. It got out pretty quickly in the NBA that Michael Malone's reaction to being fired was not calm, which is not a surprise. I don't blame him. I'm not surprised because if you remember, we talked about this earlier this season, the Kings fired their coach, Mike Brown.
Yeah.
And Michael Malone went on an absolute tirade in a press conference being like, he didn't deserve it. The Kings suck, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Oh my God. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Right?
So his reaction is not surprising, but also I'm like, would anyone be surprised by this reaction? Like, he wasn't calm when he got fired with 3 games left in the season when he brought the best accolade to his company.
Right.
Like, well, yeah. Hello.
Who's going to be like,
Who's saying no problem?
We had a good run.
I did see, though, that I think there's some clause in his contract where if he doesn't coach for like however many years are left on his contract, he'll get like $10 million a year. Like, I think it's like 4 years. I think it's like he has $40 million left.
Oh, that's
something
awesome.
I'm like, if I were him, I'd just be like, cool, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to take photos with Ken Griffey Jr.
Seriously?
And I'm going to take this paycheck all the way to the bank.
Seriously, the next finals photo we see is just going to say Michael Malone for Getty Images.
Wait, I would love that.
So good.
Oh, I would love that.
Coaches are insane.
Yeah.
Like they have this bug where they can't stop coaching.
Right.
He feels
That's
like
true.
he's going to be coaching.
He's gonna be coaching. Fair
You know
enough.
what else though, Madeline? The Nuggets president, Josh Kroenke, who is the son of the owner Stan Kroenke, who also owns the Los Angeles Rams, who moved them from St. Louis to LA and pissed off an entire state.
Yeah.
Josh acknowledged that the timing was crazy. I watched this video of a press conference where he said the timing was crazy. He also said that neither Malone nor Booth deserved it.
Well,
And he said, I thought about firing them after the All-Star break, but then they won 8 games in a row. And he was like, I didn't want to do it. And he was like, what would have been crazier, firing them after they win 8 games
Right.
or right now? He was basically like, there was no good way to do it. And the justification he gave was, I could see certain trends behind the scenes with the group, and those were worrisome. And I think that's what we were talking about.
yeah.
Because Calvin Booth, the GM, and Malone, the coach, just openly hated each
Yeah,
other.
they did not get along. So I feel like he was just like, all right, I'm the adult in this situation. I'm just getting rid of both of you.
Yeah.
Because this is just too much wrong. Which maybe it is the right decision, but the timing is still insane.
Still insane.
Still insane.
I'm also going to need more details.
I need more details.
Like, what specifically?
Right.
Like, give us the Mean Girls.
Oh,
Was Calvin Booth making Michael Malone, eat those protein bars
my
that
God.
they feed her? And, how
Right.
bad did it get? It
Right.
has to get pretty bad
Yeah,
for
for
you
that.
to fire them then.
yeah, because that's a big financial choice you're making by getting rid of these people.
Totally.
Yeah. No, there definitely had to have been some stuff behind the scenes besides just like Michael Malone interrupting Calvin Booth too much in Zoom meetings. Like, that can't be it.
Yeah.
Can't be it.
Michael Malone. Michael Malone refusing to be on a Zoom if Calvin's on it. And they're like, buddy, this is literally...
They both have camera off. And they're like, all right, a couple times is fine, but every meeting you guys need to turn your cameras on, please.
They're like,
Come on.
Michael, what do you think about this? He's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
They're just like sulking. They refuse to speak.
They're sulking. They don't reply to each other's comments in the Google Docs.
Someone ats them and they just delete the comment.
Ignore. Resolve the comment.
Resolved. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, okay.
Very
All right.
excited for the NBA playoffs. We don't have time to even talk about that today because there's too
No.
much other stuff.
Too much other
and
stuff.
There's not anything really that juicy.
The moment you've all been waiting for. Well, that you didn't know you were waiting for. We do have another update about our favorite couple, Bill Belichick, current head coach of UNC Chapel Hill's football team, and his young girlfriend, Jordon Hudson, are in the news.
Yeah.
Just as of a couple hours ago.
The timing of our recording today could not have been better.
Perfect.
I would like to, on behalf of both of us, personally thank The Athletic for their amazing reporting. The Athletic has been giving us just doing a great job of giving us insight into what's going on in a lot of stories that we talk about.
Yeah.
But this one particularly, the headline, how involved is Bill Belichick's girlfriend at UNC? New emails show a glimpse inside her role by Matt Baker.
Yeah, so The Athletic obtained through an open records request 44 pages of documents, email correspondence that provide additional information into how involved Jordan is.
Yes, and they
Bill's life and like the UNC football program at large.
Well, because after it came out, after the Assemblyman, was that
Yes.
the outlet in North Carolina that was doing a FOIA request about something else and came across an email where Bill Belichick requested that the communication staff at UNC CC Jordon Hudson on every single email.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, what else has she been involved in?
Oh, and she's been involved.
A lot.
So should we get into some of the highlights?
Yes, please.
First one being, so before UNC had announced that they were hiring Bill Belichick's son, Steve, so he used to coach, I believe, at the University of Washington.
Mm-hmm. He was the defensive coordinator.
Thank you. And he was brought over to UNC. Obviously, his dad's the coach. So, there's like a little bit of a Nepo baby storyline that definitely could have been brewing because of that.
He was also with the Patriots before
Thank
then.
you.
Yeah,
so
like he would also
math.
make very funny faces on the sideline that
Oh, really?
oh yeah, Google Steve Belichick Patriots sideline.
Uh-huh.
And it's just cameras cutting to him and his tongue sticking out a lot. It's wild. Anyway.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in one of these emails, apparently Jordan wrote to the school's media team to, quote, raise awareness regarding a sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious, frequently occurring detail within media releases and social media posts, and then continues on to say, though Steve Belichick is in fact Bill's son, he should be depicted and represented as his own established, credible entity as opposed to an extension of Bill. Then she continued on to say, it can be easily misinterpreted that Steve is simply benefiting from nepotism, but that is not the case. Steve was fortunate to have learned defensive football strategy from the, quote, greatest defensive mind of all time. He has earned his position due to his performance and output.
If you are not watching this, if this is audio only, I would like you to know that my head was in my hands for most of that quote. Okay, so I have a few things to say about this.
Please.
Thank God Jordon Hudson said don't put a picture of them together, because now no one's going to know that Steve Belichick is Bill Belichick's son.
No one's going to know. It's not like his last name is Johnson. Like,
right.
His last name is
not
Belichick.
It's not Smith.
No. No.
The second thing I have to say is this is like negging Steve. This is saying like, while most people will probably assume that Steve was hired because he is Bill's father, he in fact was not. And UNC's like, right, no, we're the ones who hired him.
Yeah.
Second of all, he kind of was hired.
Right.
Because not saying he's not good at what he does.
Correct.
But he probably wouldn't be the defensive coordinator at UNC if Bill weren't the head coach.
Correct.
Because he was just at Washington, which is also a very good school.
Right.
These things are not exclusive.
No, I want to know how Steve feels about this. He's like, can you please exclude me from this narrative?
I would be so livid if I were Steve Belichick. So this is interesting, though, because Steve's wife, Jenny, had commented on a post from an outlet on social media saying something about how Jordan's just trying to make it about herself. I should find the exact quote, but I wonder if they knew that this had happened or if there's other stuff we don't know about.
Maybe.
Because this is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
You're the 24-year-old girlfriend of a 72-year-old coach who's just hired his, I think Steve's around my age, like 36, 35, whatever.
Sure.
To work there, and she thinks she has to tell them how to message this?
Right. And then she continued on to say that the school shouldn't use any images of Steve and Bill together to prevent, quote, visual prompts that could fuel accusations of nepotism. And she did also suggest, apparently, that UNC avoid referring to Steve as, quote, Bill's son, and instead highlight his own accomplishments.
Okay.
So she continues on saying, like, it's really worth emphasizing the point that Steve has the expertise of being in all caps, college defensive coordinator and will bring a plethora of knowledge to the coaching staff. She continued to say, I believe being strategic about the depiction of the Steve will prevent controversy and show utmost respect towards Steve's career, validate Bill's decision as a head coach to hire Steve. So then an administrator for the school responded to these emails about the social media post talking about Steve, blah, 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 and said that UNC hadn't posted anything about his hiring and that they would, quote, certainly promote him as his own entity when they did promote him.
That response is a like the passive aggressive per my last email.
Yes.
Like, yeah, no shit, Jordan. What did you think we were going to do? Did you think they were going to put out a banner that was like, UNC hires Bill Belichick's son as defensive coordinator because of nepotism? Yeah. Like, what?
That would be amazing if they had done that.
This is the thing. She's so young that she thinks she knows things that other people don't know, and everybody knows them. And she's just discovered. She's like, wow.
Right.
We really shouldn't make a big deal about this nepotism thing. And everyone's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we know. It's like, that's an unspoken rule. You don't need to say that in an email. And mind you, those emails came just 6 days after Bill asked UNC to start CCing Jordan on emails. So Jordan was like, 6 days in, I'm already going on my power trip. Watch me work in this inbox.
Truly. Also, she uses big words that don't make sense again. And she said upmost instead of utmost.
Utmost.
So just my favorite thing about her. One of my favorite things about this.
Yeah.
She sent an email on February 13th.
Okay.
Is there anyone monitoring the UNC football page for slanderous commentary and subsequently deleting it / blocking users that are harassing BB in the comments?
Okay.
No one responds. On Valentine's Day, Bill himself follows up, quote, I cannot believe that UNC would support my being called a, quote, predator.
Predator? Wait, is that implying that people are commenting that because he's dating a young woman?
Well, it implies that neither of them provided any details or screenshots to say that this has happened.
Yeah.
And Robbie Pickerel Evans, who is the head of comms or very involved in comms at UNC, responded and said, the comms guy from UNC says said that the Tar Heels hid or erased a comment talking about their personal life and would continue to block, ban, or hide similar remarks. The school did not find a reference to Belichick as a predator, and Evans called it, quote, incredibly inappropriate. And as you noted below, UNC would never support. Like, yeah, obviously, buddy. So this for Bill to follow up seems to me, in my best guess, Jordan went to him and was like, no one's responded to my email. You need to follow up. Can you believe that? Do they support your being called a predator? So Bill's just like, do you support?
Yes.
Like, does what she says.
Yes.
Which to me is like, this is like, it's on Bill for allowing her to do all of this. Right. But also this behavior is so inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate, and also just reinforces what we've said, which is that she's kind of running his whole existence.
Yeah.
To the point where in this article, they cite that Jordan is listed as a manager on multiple different trademarks for businesses, including a business that is involved with, quote, multi-platform media project, another one that's a production and merchandising group, and then a video podcast production firm, all for Bill. She's listed as the manager on those patents.
That is
so, or trademarks.
Wild.
Like, that is crazy. Like, she is embedded.
She's making money off of his name.
Correct. And according to this article, she has listed in her email signature that she is the chief operating officer of Belichick Productions.
No.
I will add, The Athletic did try to look into finding a company called Belichick Productions, and they could not find a registered business with that name.
So she is just making everything up. Yeah. She is making herself, okay.
But she is legitimately listed on these trademark for these companies as a manager. Which is crazy.
You know, Bill, I don't know. He doesn't care about any of this.
Yeah.
He's just like, as you said, down bad. Or he's like, is there any part of her having this attention that serves him?
I mean, I don't think he would allow it to continue if it didn't serve him in some way and that he was consenting to her taking on this much power and control.
Yeah.
He is too smart of a man. He has been around long enough to know when people are probably taking advantage of him. And if he's fine with this dynamic, like, he's a consenting adult and he's allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like she's doing these things, yes, but like at the end of the day, he could stop it if he wanted to.
Exactly.
And he clearly doesn't want to.
No, he seems to love it because there were these videos that came out of UNC Play Like a Pro Day or something.
Oh, yes.
Where she's wearing like a pleather UNC colored thing, like 6-inch stilettos on a football field, which is crazy. Just like in terms of being able to walk. And she's like trying to help him with his microphone or something.
Yeah.
But she is walking around like she owns the place.
Yes.
And he is just, he's it's fine with him.
It's fine. He let her come over. He let her walk across the field in soles, which also, can you wear those shoes on I feel like you're not supposed to wear shoes.
I mean, I'm like,
I don't know.
If it's turf, maybe. I mean, it's like
maybe
spikes
it's golf.
and cleats.
Yeah,
so like maybe it's fine. But like, just,
she's running it. Well, clearly to the point where just yesterday she posted on her Instagram a photo of her posing in, I believe, a jumpsuit in the window of a hotel with a parking garage, I think, in the background, with Taylor Swift's Vigilante shit playing. So, I mean...
Okay, let's look up vigilante real quick. In true Jordan fashion, let's just see what this big word means.
Please.
A member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority, typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate.
I mean, replace law enforcement with Bill Belichick.
Crazy.
Like, she is listed on his companies.
She's listed on, and she appears to have filed a lot of those trademarks.
How do his kids feel about it? I mean, I just think about, I'm like, people have thoughts on what's going on.
I would feel like, I'm sure there are feelings of she's taking advantage of him.
Right.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Maybe he should do something about it.
Correct. Or maybe he doesn't want to do anything about it.
He doesn't, but like for his family's sake, I can see where this would all be painful.
Yeah, I could imagine so.
In other Jordon Hudson news, however,
yes,
maybe the biggest news of all.
Yep.
She is competing on May 10th and 11th to be Miss Maine. She is competing in the pageant to be Miss Maine, who will then go on to the Miss USA pageant.
Yep.
And it's too good to be true.
Too good to be true. It is happening. It's a public event.
I also feel like she's been posting a lot from Maine.
Yeah.
Like spending time there. Bill will clearly be, at UNC working allegedly or something, and she'll be posting from Maine. And I've been like, how or why is she spending so much time up there where she says her family is from?
Yeah.
Even though a lot of her LLCs were registered in Massachusetts.
Right.
And she appears to have gone to school there in some of our research.
Yeah.
But I was like, why is she up there? It makes sense. She was spending time in Maine because to qualify for Miss Maine, you have to have lived there at least 3 months prior.
Correct. And something we had talked about a long time ago was we were like, what is Jordan's end game? Is she trying to run for political office, be a politician's wife? Because she was posting all this stuff about supporting Maine fishermen. And at the time we were like, oh, it's because she wants to get involved in politics. I think it's just that she wants her cause to be supporting Maine fishermen, Maine lobstermen for this competition. Yeah. That's her charity cause.
Yeah.
Because there is an interview component of this pageant. And I'm sure she's going to bring it up.
Oh, you are so right. Oh my God, you are so right.
That's what it is. She doesn't want to be a politician's wife. She just wants to win Miss USA.
She wants to be Miss USA. I mean,
right?
So Bill's going to go, right?
He has to go.
He has to go. It's not football season yet. Even if there's spring games, like he can fly into Portland.
Yeah.
They have a private airport there. He can fly in for that Sunday final competition. She was runner-up last year in Miss Maine.
Yeah.
The woman who won is a News Center Maine anchor.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's really fun to watch local news. I love local news. Bill can fly in on Sunday. Jordan's going to win.
She's going to win. For sure.
If she was the runner-up last year and now she's this famous.
Yeah.
Or at least we think she's
pretty famous.
It's a bit, everybody knows that this is happening.
Yeah.
Also, when I was just up in Maine seeing my family and friends over the weekend, everybody was like, everybody was talking about it.
Yes.
That Jordon Hudson is running to be Miss Maine. Everybody wants to go. I mean, tickets are available to the public.
Available. They are available for purchase. Interesting.
I mean,
we'll see. Yeah.
I just am sort of speechless about how this story keeps growing and growing, and the fact that you and I early on just keyed in, and we were like, someone is running Bill's Instagram.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. We got, by the way, thank you for everyone who tagged us for the past couple days, like the Miss Maine news, the video of her at the practice. We got so many messages about it, and I'm honored that we can be your go-to source for all things Jordon Hudson.
The fact that this is like where our careers are, where it's
They're like, they're the
what are you up
experts.
to? It's like, well, we spent a lot of time talking about Bill Belichick's young girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, we could, look, I've lived in Maine. Like, I could potentially enter the Miss Maine, like pull a Miss Congeniality and like go undercover.
Please, I would die.
They're like,
I would die.
who is this woman who's twice the age of everybody here?
Hey, we don't know that. It could be. I don't know.
Baby,
I would die. Please enter.
I'm not going to do it.
No. Oh well.
I
can dream.
wouldn't disrespect actual pageants.
No. Yeah, exactly.
By doing
That's
that.
fair. That's fair.
But it would be funny.
It would
Anyway.
be funny.
Okay, so oh yeah, sorry. How could I forget this? My favorite thing that happened this week
What?
was JD Vance, Vice President of the United States, looking like an absolute clown.
Yes.
When Ohio State's football team went to celebrate their national championship at the White House, as
Yes.
championship teams are known to do. He tried to pick up the trophy and didn't realize that it was in two parts, that there's that sort of conical metal part and then the
Yes.
base, which anyone who has ever watched college football knows because they hold it up after they win.
Right.
And he tried to pick it up and he dropped the base, and like one of the Ohio State players had to catch it for him.
I know. It was just like the clunk heard round the world. Round the world. Round the world.
Around the world. Madeline, I have watched this video so
It's
many
so
times.
good. It's like you can't write it. It's like something on Veep, but it's just our reality.
Yes.
It's just a reality.
Just a reality.
Yeah, I have seen that a lot.
He tried to laugh it off by saying he tweeted over a video of him dropping it, where I was like, you're just amplifying that, my dude.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't want anyone to have it after Ohio State, so I tried to break it. It's like, just say you
dropped
messed
it.
Yeah. It's a real metaphor for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I think that's pretty much all we've got.
I think that's everything.
It was a fun episode, sort of fewer topics, deeper dives, shall we say?
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
It's our new slogan.
Sometimes there's a lot of little things
Yeah, there
happening
are.
that we got to cover.
Sometimes
Sometimes there's some big things happening.
Sometimes you got to deep dive.
Just
Dive deep.
oops,
Whatever.
just almost ruined our whole setup by
It's
knocking
fine.
stuff over, but I didn't.
You didn't. Wow. Well, as always, please like and subscribe, rate and review. It makes a huge difference. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell everyone to listen to the Sports Gossip Show.
Yeah, your dog might even like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make them a fake YouTube account and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't
Don't.
know.
We
Don't do
don't.
that. But please like and subscribe. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.